Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Hello.
Hola.
Hola, hola. Happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter. What's your name? Where you from?
Hi, Tekk. This is Dominique. I'm out here in Vegas.
Okay, I see STLO. I thought that was St. Louis.
No, everybody thinks I'm St. Louis at first. Nope, I'm out here in Las Vegas, sunny Las Vegas. Yeah. So how's it going today?
You gonna go see the Usher concert?
No, Lord. I'm not going anywhere near that strip. Nowhere near the strip, the runway. It is a mess out here. We got about 4,000 extra people in town for Easter.
Wow. Hey, people who just visit out from out of town?
Uh-huh.
People who just visiting from out of town?
No, I live here, but I mean that it's like every holiday, everybody flocks to Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like give us a break. Yeah, give us a break.
Hey, but Vegas is one of those places where you gotta. It's hard to think that people live there, but people actually do live there, like you, right?
Yes, I've lived here 12 years. And people say, how do you do it every day? I say, you have to be disciplined and you have to be budget to live out here. You have the budget and you have to be disciplined because everything is available and wide open and legal. So if this is like one of the, I call it the craziest places in the world to come if you have any type of addiction, because it'll just take you under.
All right,
It,
so
it will, it'll take
I
you
can't
under.
control myself. That's the last place I should ever think about going.
Right. If you can't control yourself, because I mean, you could walk up and down the street and drink liquor as long as you don't get in a car and as long as you keep it in paper. Um, you can, everything is open all night.
No, we must have lost you. What happened to you, Vegas? You were
Yeah,
talking
wait a
to?
minute,
Okay,
here
I'm about
I
to say
am. I'm
the
back.
mafia got you.
You know, because I was on the phone and the phone rang. But no, and it's like you have that, like I have $100 a day budget. If I leave out and see, and I'm retired too.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of retirees out here, and it's just taking them under right now because like they get their checks on the third, and the casinos come, like go to the senior places and pick them up. They have a bus that goes over to the senior places and they pick them up and take them over to the casino and they give us one free meal a week. So you go to the casino to get your free meal and they just stay there all day long and put all their money in there. Because
Give us a
they
whole
don't have
check.
it
That's a
right.
cool game.
Because they don't have right because they don't have anything to do. So they take them over there. Oh, we're gonna give you lunch. We're gonna give you a free meal. So the people go over there and eat and then they can socialize and they'll sit there all day. And by the fifth of the month, it's like they're broke. They are totally broke, because it gives them something to do. But I've been out here like 12 years now, and I have $100 a day budget. Because when I first came out here, I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm retired. I'm gonna get up every morning, get in my pool, get in my hot tub. Then I'm gonna go over to the casino and I'm gonna gamble and have my lunch. Then I'm gonna come back and get in my pool, and just chill. Well, that worked for about 6 months. After about 6 months, I was like, I'm losing my mind. I gotta find something to do because this is not it. So of course I came out of retirement for the fifth time. I was like, I can't do this. I said, this make me crazy. So I'm on $100 day budget. If I go out and I go shopping first and spend $50, then I only have $50 to gamble with. When I spend my $100 up, I bring my butt home and get in my pool.
Where do you keep the $100 at?
Yeah.
Where do you keep the $100? In your sock?
No. Mm-mm. Most of the time I go to the casino first.
Like, but do you keep a real $100 bill, or do you just kind of keep the rolling balance in your mind?
I usually just take the $100 bill and stick it in the machine.
See?
Yeah, it's like, but I'm pretty lucky as well. And I mean, some days I go in there and in 10 minutes my $100 is gone.
Gone.
In 10 minutes. And then some days I go in there and the first 10 minutes I hit $1,000. So
Yeah.
telling people, like, when you gambling, because I gamble because I enjoy it, and it's something for me to do. That's
What do you
like
play? Slots?
Yeah, I'm a Keno player.
Keno, okay. You don't play cards, you don't play tables, or you play the machines?
No, I usually play Keno on the machine, but I've hit like $20,000. In my 12-year period, I've hit, like, my biggest win was 20,000 on.
Woo! That's a nice come up on a 1 day trip.
Yep.
Wow.
And I haven't hit a 10 out of 10 yet. I've hit 9 out of 10 on Keno, and I'm a 5 cent 20-cent player.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, right?
See, that's cool because you can just stay at your house and then you can just drive over to the casino, but you're saying that there's a bus that'll pull up to the center and just grab a net and just load them up. Just load them all up.
Yep, that's what they do to the seniors out here. And it's like horrible. Because like you say, the seniors don't have anything to do. So they go along with it. But it's good. My son, when he first came out here, he was like, Mom, this place is crazy. And you can gamble everywhere out here.
Yeah, you can go to the gas station and gamble.
No. When you go to the supermarket, well, when you get off the airplane, and my son always say, we don't have an airplane here. An airport that we have a casino with a landing strip. It's 2,300 machines in the airport.
Damn. And they all just waiting to snatch your money. Taking your $100 budget. Oh my God.
And the people get off the plane and there's all these lights and cameras and like things rolling and whatnot. And people, before they get some people, before they get to their hotel, they done lost their whole gambling budget. Because they start and like when you go to the supermarket, it's like so funny because you have so many issues with families out here. The wife is cooking and she said, oh man, we need some more rice. And she sent her husband to the store to get rice. And when you walk in the supermarket, the front of the supermarket, to the right is alcohol, and to the left is gambling machines.
So I can buy some cigarettes, I can get some beer, I can get some poison, I can get everything that's bad for me, and then in one stop, I can pick up some gas, I can pick up a couple of shiny tokens, and
but you get all of that before you get to the food. You have to go through the gambling and the liquor before you get to the food. And if you gambling, they'll give you free liquor.
So why do you like Vegas so much then? Are you gonna leave, or why do you love it so much? If it's well, sounds like it ain't working out.
First thing, this is my 5th time retiring, and I'm 77 years old. Mm-hmm. So, it's like the weather. Like now, not this year. This year has been the coldest winter we've had since I've been out here. But the weather is conducive. It's like 75, 80 degrees every day.
Right now, it is, yeah.
Right now. So, you know, it's like you don't have to wear coats. And I'm originally from the East Coast.
Yeah, you ain't never going back. You know what I'm saying?
Never, never. I went back for my brother's funeral and I told him, I said, you know, I won't ever be out here again, right? For nothing.
I ain't never coming back. That's right.
No, for nothing. For nothing. Because it's crazy. We had 3 inches of rain this year.
That ain't nothing.
Right. 3 inches of rain all year. So you don't have to worry about carrying umbrellas and, you know, I have a little jean jacket that I run around in. That's my staple coat for the entire winter. And
people don't understand. They don't get that. People who live in climates where they have to have adjustments every 4 seasons, like here in California, but obviously we're here in the West Coast with, you know, with basically it don't even really rain that much. I mean, it rained a little bit this year, but people don't understand when you have a climate where your life doesn't really change basically all year, it stabilizes. It like there's a level of stability that comes with that, and I think you're a little bit more cautious. You're a little bit more cool versus people who live in different. Like I lived in Colorado. I lived in like the South.
Oh Lord, yeah.
I live in Texas. I live in Colorado, and I know it's different there. You got to actually prepare, and you got to actually, you know, put stuff in storage. Like I was never used to that, and being in
you had like 3 or 4 sets of clothes
all year long.
Right, you got 3 or 4 sets of clothes.
Yeah, nah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. You know, it's like, look, I could wear the same clothes all year long. It was funny because when I went out to my brother's funeral, I had on like 2 pair of tights, a pair of jeans, a couple of shirts. I was layered leaving Vegas. I left Vegas, it was 70 degrees. When I got to Philly, my sister was like, oh, well, we bringing you a coat and some boots and all that kind of stuff. I was like, ugh. So one of my nephews said to me, he said, well, Annie, why didn't you bring your winter clothes? I said, sweetie, these are my winter clothes. Mm-hmm. I mean, our jeans aren't even heavy. You know, when
you need a jacket.
Cold, yeah, right. And when it's cool out here, you know, I mean, there have been times over the 12-year period that I've sent home and I've said to, you know, a family member, look, somebody send us a couple of sweatshirts and a couple of, you know, pair of sweatpants and a jacket and all that kind of stuff. We don't have no stuff out here like that. And I mean, it's so funny. Like they'll close the schools and I'll, you know, like get on it, what's that, Facebook, and I'll say, anybody need, you know, it's like, oh, they closed the school because it was 42 degrees. They like, what, 42 degrees? Girl, if you don't get off, you know, they be like, if you don't get off of this telephone talking about it's cold out here, it's 42 degrees. I be cracking them. Yeah, they like, no, that's not funny. They like, there's nothing funny about that. Talking about it's 42 degrees. And then there are times when I had to put their clothes to school because it's 105 degrees. They like, yeah.
Hey, Angie, does it get 105 degrees in Newman?
No, never.
Yeah, unmute yourself. There you go. Yeah, does it get 105 degrees in Newman?
It sure does. It gets super hot out here. It is no joke.
Damn. What's the hottest it gets? Like 130?
I haven't experienced 130 yet, but it definitely went up to like 112 once upon a time. Okay. And what was another one that was pretty high? I think it was like 115, but not 130. Not that I've experienced yet.
See, if people don't understand, like triple digits is kind of rare in California, but it does happen. And when it does happen, you know, it's not like we don't know what to do. It's just, we're just so used to things being about 75 to maybe about 90 at the most. But when it crosses triple digits, it's like, oh my God. And it's not like where everybody else is, in like in New York, where they have a lot of humidity. And then in the South, where it gets really nasty and slimy. the California hotness, I mean, it really does. It's a special type of warmth to me. I think you can tolerate it, but it never lasts that long. It always lasts maybe 2 or 3 days. 4 days
Yeah.
at most, and then you're back to normal. So that's the advantage of living in California. So, but we're gonna take y'all to California today. So Angie's hopping on, and then I think we're ready to start rocking, man. Pretty soon, once we got everything.
Yeah, I had to resend everybody the link, and then I feel like on my IG, I don't even know how to post it because it's a totally different password. So everyone's messaging me right now like, hey girl, what's going on? This link's not working.
Yeah, when you put in the link, it should instead of it should open up automatically. The password should already be in there, but
no, I'm
tell them
not
to
sure.
go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and they can watch it there.
Okay, let me tell everybody to go on YouTube.
Yeah, after that, we'll get started. All right, we got a bunch of people on the thing today, so that's good. I know how people are always shy about their cameras and you guys don't want to show your faces. Guys, if you're a robot, keep your camera off. If you're a real person, turn your camera on. Like, we're all family here, y'all. But I understand if you're in a position where you can't turn your camera on. I got that. Some people are at work, which I appreciate that. Some people are probably on the toilet in the bathroom, or you're driving and you probably shouldn't be driving and texting at the same time and looking at cameras, but it's all good.
Yeah, I cannot figure out how to just do the repost again. So I'm just gonna let it be. If someone can help somehow create the post so I can share it again, because I can't figure it out right now.
No problem. We got production on that. He's on it right away.
Yeah, just because I'm getting the text messages from everyone and they're like, girl, what is going on? Your link is not working.
Let's say the link absolutely works. We'll get that for the record. The link, but I don't know exactly what you're saying because the passwords and the user and all that stuff, it can get a little crazy. But I think Larika put a link in the chat. So if you want to send that to him real quick, go ahead. Okay. And then that's the link that she got. And it should take you right there.
Okay. Thank you, Larika.
Yeah, we'll give it a second. Then let's get started. Then we'll get started with the war rooms. And if in worst case scenario, just go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. They can watch it live. Matter of fact, I might even just pull up my phone and then just live stream it on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Last time. I was even trying to get my mic to work and it wasn't cooperating today. And I was like, oh my gosh.
All right. Oh, Larika, appreciate that. She put all the information in the chat. So cool.
Yeah, I seen that.
All right.
She's on top of it.
All right. And Tiger, don't feel like you have to go on off mute, but you can always text me. Do you want to hit record or you want me to record? You just make the call, then we'll get started, man. Yeah, you can send that to me in the chat. I can record or you can record. Either one is fine. But we're live on YouTube right now. All right, let's go. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Instagram. Hey, welcome to the West Coast, everybody. Angie, you ready?
Yeah, let's do this. Cool. I was ready for my Babe music, some Keep the Sneak. I was like, where's the music at? Where's the music?
Oh, yeah, you listen. All I gotta do is throw up a YouTube video. We're gonna get that cracking right now. Matter of fact, let me put up some hyphy music right quick. Put a little hyphy playlist.
Talking about.
For those who don't know, California, we have something called the hyphy movement. It's really a West Coast thing. But I'm gonna go ahead and play you guys some real Bay Area stuff to get you guys in the mood, man, let you guys know where you at right now. And let me get the hosting capabilities, and then I'm gonna share that screen, then we'll get the music playing. And that's a good warm-up too, because I mean, this is gonna be the best war room. This might be one of the best war rooms to date. It might be one of the, I have a feeling this is gonna be a good show. It's gonna be very informative. You guys are gonna get a lot of information, a lot of game. I can't share the screen yet. So once I get the sharing capabilities, then we can start it off. But otherwise, if you've never been to the War Room, you've probably never seen anything quite like this. But what you're getting ready to experience is basically just a chop it up session, and we get to know all of our guests, find out what their story is like, find out what has necessarily built them up to where they are now, and obviously share some information, share some games, share some tips with us. And then you guys can get a chance to ask questions if there's something that you need clarification on or something that you just want to know about our guests. And today, our guest is Angie Curiel. She is a loan signing agent extraordinaire. She's also a real estate agent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, real estate agent. And she also has a financial services business. So a woman of many talents and very multidimensional, but I can't share it yet. So that's all good. But we'll fix that in post. We'll put the welcome music on. But if you guys are at all interested in the notary public industry, the loan signing agent business, real estate, financial services, you came to the right place. I mean, it's just really that plain and simple. And if you have some notes, go ahead and break out your pen, take some information down, and hopefully you walk away with a lot of information, some game, and you're entertained, and this is a good Sunday for you guys. So Angie, first, welcome to the Notary War Room. I want to at least give you the opportunity to explain to everybody, introduce who you are, let us know who are you, and give us and you can start from the very beginning and bring us all the way up through now, but we want to get to know who you are. So please, the floor is yours.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you guys for coming and tuning in on this Easter afternoon. I totally missed the date. Like, I didn't even pay attention to the date when I chose it. I completely had forgot it was Easter. So ahead of time, my bad, but we're going to make it totally worth it for you guys tuning in. I really appreciate every single one of you guys coming in and tuning in to find out a little bit about me. Just another little notary out here doing her thing. My name is Angie. I was born in Richmond. I was born in Oakland, raised in Richmond. And I see it, the town over there. And so I moved over here to Central Valley, which is a little town named Newman, in 2005. We, ventured out here. We seen these huge houses, kind of like how we look at Texas and we're like, yeah, let's go move over there. They got some good prices over there on those beautiful houses. That was kind of what we did when we moved to Central Valley. We've seen a lot of value in the homes and everything. And that was the start of my entrepreneurship. We soon opened a Metro PCS store within that year of moving here. So I owned the Metro PCS store from 2006 all the way to 2012, when T-Mobile kind of took over and they changed a lot of the things that they had going on. Metro, started kind of pushing more quotas, and it just became more of a corporate type of company, and it was really hard for us to stay up on it in a little town in comparison to big companies. So we decided to, shut it down. And by that time, I had already took on the business of being a makeup artist. So I did very well doing that and hustling jewelry. So I was selling accessories at vendor events and just different type of networking events that they allowed vendors to go to. So, I dipped into that for a couple years after, and then COVID hit. Then I became a cosmetologist. I went to school, got my license, became a cosmetologist, worked at a salon, and then COVID hit, shut it down for us. And, I had to pivot. There was, at that time, I was like, my hands are tied. We can't have no kind of communication with the public. We can't interact. We can't do much. So, you know, I reached out to a friend, just, you know, asking her, hey girl, you know, I see a lot of these mortgage relief things. I don't foresee myself using it right now, but, you know, how do you feel about it? And she was like, no, girl, do not touch your mortgage. I need help. We have a refinance boom going on in our office. I need you to come work for us. And I was like, okay, bet, let's go. So you know, I started the very next day. She's like, I'll show you everything you need to know to assist me as a loan officer. It was pretty much a loan officer assistant throughout the whole time I was there. And then I met a girl named Vettel, who she was the one training me. And I always had it in my heart to be a notary, but I didn't ever search it up to see what it took me to become a notary. It was just kind of like always put on the back burner. But, you know, I even just recently found a letter that I remember writing, I want to get my notary license. And it was back in like 2006. So when I went there, I seen that the loan officer had always delegated the signings over to the other loan officer that was in-house, who also had her notary license. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, I really love, you know, what you're doing. Can I like shadow you? Can I just sit into your signings? And she was like, girl, I'll teach you how to do them. She was like, come on, come on with me. And since we had so many refis and we had that connection directly with title to be allowed to notarize the documents, she was like teaching me every single file that closed was every single file that, what did Mike Lean say? Angie is the HPIC. And taught me. So she's like, okay, girl, we need you to get your license. And she was the one who pushed me to get the license, so that she's like, you know, we'll start splitting up the signings. Every signing we got was always $200. It was a few that we got at $300, but they're mostly all were $200. And she's like, I'll start splitting them with you for now, but once you get your license, that's all you, girl. And I was like, oh my goodness. I started seeing how it started pouring in. I started building good relationships with title companies. They started getting familiar with me because I was bilingual, and they needed a lot more bilingual notaries in our area. So, you know, we were just popping. We were busy nonstop until late hours of the night sometimes. And so Vettel encouraged me to go get my license. And I found a big passion in the notary side of things, and not so much the lending. The lending is good. I like the information. It's useful and all that, but I don't foresee myself being a loan officer. The notary was always one of those things that I just kind of like, I was always attracted to. So as the years progressed, I started seeing that I was very busy. So I decided to part ways with the company I was working for and just strictly dedicate myself to be doing notary work. So I went on my adventure to do my own notary thing, and then boom, interest rates started going up. You know, loan signings started coming down a little bit. And, you know, I really just started to think like, okay, so what's next? In the meantime, I am still a makeup artist, so I'm still doing this on the side. So I'm still working, but I'm like, I got to figure out something else. So I started doing a lot more networking events and talking to people and getting to know them so they can trust me and in their signings. And then me and my man came across a challenge that was presented to us from a friend of ours to do the 75 hard challenge. It's a very, very, it's a mental, like more of a mental challenge than a physical challenge. What is it, like a program? I'm not sure if people are familiar with that, but
yeah, for those who don't know, explain to them what the 75 hard challenge is.
75 hard challenge basically is you have a few tasks that you have to conquer in the day. You have to read a book, 10 pages a day. You have to do 2 workouts a day, 1 indoors and 1 outdoors. And then you have to drink a gallon of water. And then you have to, what else am I missing? You have to do the book, the workouts, the water, follow a strict diet, no alcohol. And I mean, that's already a lot of the things. I don't think there was anything more than that, but those are all the ones that were on there. Follow the diet. Yes. So follow the diet. For me, it was very, very hard because I'm a piggy at heart. I love food. I will never say no to food. Food is my everything. So it was challenging. I never drank water. I was overweight. I never really read a book besides studying courses and stuff, but sitting down to actually read a book, I hadn't read a book in a long time, I think since college. So one thing that came about that, besides all the great benefits of just your mind shifting to a different you, was that your mind's constantly working. You're working out and your mind's working. You're reading and your mind's working. And so through the day, your mind's constantly working. So once we started that, I was like, okay, so I need to figure out a new plan of things. I'm doing these networking events. No one's really giving me, I'm not getting many signings from them. I repost realtors. I do their open houses. I take the cookies and cupcakes to the title companies. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to make myself the connect, because there is just no way that I'm going to continue, in a sense, kissing ass to get signings. And at that point, we already started seeing the change of the prices on signings. Some of them started dropping. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that no more. So I have always had it. I took real estate back in high school. I went to a college and a high school at the same time. But at that time, my mind wasn't right. It was a lot. And I dropped out. So I said, I'm going to become the connect. I'm going to go ahead and make myself a realtor so that all the people that I network with and my notaries, I can assign them my signings and it stays in-house. So from that, Limitless Financial Services was born. So you can't really see it, but I'm currently in my office. I said, I'm going to open an office. I'm going to bring all financial services to this office. I had a vision that just came about. My husband he's a financial coach. I'm getting my license here soon to become a financial coach myself. And we have a loan officer here in-house. So any loans that come about, we delegate it to the loan officer in-house. And in return, they send us either the notary signings to myself, or as a realtor, I represent them as a realtor. And then vice versa, I'll send them, and it's like a one-stop shop here. When the financial services was presented to me, the person that I spoke to literally has became our mentor since. He opened up my eyes to just another world of more possibilities. And, I know that a lot of notaries, when they sit down and they have a client in front of them, most of the time they'll bring up something that has something to do with a trust or a will or power of attorney, things that require an attorney to handle, right? So when we were introduced to financial services, within that connection, there is now, there's in-house attorneys that now we have under Limitless as well, that now we can offer this to the community and have an in-house attorney help them with their trust, powers of attorney, wills, and of course, I get the notary signing for any of those clients that we refer out. So this is where we are now. We're at Limitless Financial. It's been doing so good since we've opened. I successfully passed my real estate license. My husband got his financial coaching license. And then we have some affiliates that we work with. So we also have a in-house credit repair specialist. So anyone who comes in the door that wants a loan or possibly wants to buy a house and they have credit issues, we can send them to our in-house credit specialist. And then we also have another affiliate partner that anyone who needs automobile insurance, I'm able to handle them as well. I'm kind of like that middleman. And yeah, we just continue to build limitless possibilities in here.
Right. See, I hope you guys, I told you guys, didn't I tell you guys? I told you. I hope you're taking notes. If you follow the journey along the entire way, where she started, high school, college, and being exposed to these environments where being in a loan origination or the loan officer environment, and then being introduced to the notary industry, and then that also progresses into where you currently are, financial services or real estate, and then financial services. So, and then also being a small business owner in your own right with the cosmetology industry and then the phone industry. Now, let me ask you this. So again, I hope you guys got all that and just understand who you're speaking to today. That's really fascinating. What would you say for notaries who, put it this way, when people get introduced to this industry, there is a language that must be spoken. There is an approach that they must have. And sometimes people, loan signing agents are really notorious for this because it might be their first time stepping off of a corporate environment, stepping out of that environment where they've had a traditional 9-to-5, but now they're suddenly find themselves working for themselves. Now, what would you, again, when you walked into the industry, it was popping, right? It was buzzing, and then all of a sudden it shifts, and then it changes, then you have to kind of pivot. What kind of approach would you tell people who might be going through what you went through? You know, they're kind of in that environment right now. What would you tell them to look out for?
There is limitless possibilities of using your license in many other areas. Just continue with your drive. If it's not working with the loans, then there's always the senior living homes that you can go advertise to. When I was introduced to the financial services aspect, that one opens a big old window of possibilities for you to network with attorneys, with CPAs, with with more realtors that are involved in that same industry, and doctors. Like, I've met police officers, doctors, attorneys, nurses, all of them. You'd be surprised, they're all in that network of financial services doing similar things. So definitely look into different avenues. So, the healthcare, you can go to hospitals and advertise. You could go, if you're bilingual, that's a big old advantage as well, because they're constantly looking for bilingual notaries. I think that's one of the things that helps me stand out, that I am bilingual and I'm able to help, that community or that group that, they're constantly looking for a notary, but no one speaks Spanish. So whatever makes you stand out, I think that you should really embrace that and use that. Getting yourself out there to networking events, whatever it is, you'd be surprised. Making that right connection with the right person is going to open doors that you would have never thought would open for you. And for me, that's what happened. I'm in a totally different place. I'm not the same person I was back in October when I started my adventure. Like, I started 75 Hard in October, and then I opened Limitless Financial Services in January. And my husband got licensed in February for financial services. I got licensed in real estate in February. And we have also the solar, we got into the solar game too. So we are partnered up with the solar company. Both my husband and I, we both have licenses for that now. And through that, you know, we've gotten connections from leads, just leads that will come for real estate, credit repair, some notary signings. Everyone needs financial services. You'd be surprised people are not knowledgeable of the financial literacy that they need to be on game with. And I'm all ears when it comes to that. I'm trying to break that, you know, that generational curse that we had. I'm trying to make a difference, at least for my kids, so that when they grow up, they have something proud to say. My mama set me up cool. My mama set me up with this, this, and this. And right now, the most latest thing I've learned about is an IUL. I had zero knowledge once upon a time of what an IUL was. And
talking about indexes, y'all. When somebody starts talking about indexes, whenever the word index comes up, you notice how people start perking up. People start, indexes. Oh, you know about indexes? Oh, well, let me tell you. So people who don't know about indexes, you had that same sort of light bulb moment on that same.
Yeah.
Response.
I was like, what? Yeah. Say that one more time, and I've gotten it repeated over and over and over and again. I just want to make one big shout out to the one person who really woke me the fuck up, and that's Irvin Samsu. He's my mentor. And he is, you know, he's been in the industry for over 20 years as a financial coach. And, you know, learning the business, learning the products, learning what value it brings to people, and how people just shut it off sometimes, and how it's our job to bring the knowledge to them, whether they want to take it or not at that point, that's up to them. But I know for myself personally, my kids are set. When they're 18 or when they're 21 or whenever they want to touch their IUL, I know that they're going to be able to purchase a house by themselves using their funds that I contributed into, go to pay for their college themselves if they choose to. Me personally, I have a different belief about college. But if they choose that they want to do that, by all means. And if they want to buy an investment property, a duplex, triplex, like, you know, educating our kids to be set for the future is my major goal. And that's my why of why I'm doing everything that I do, why I'm dipped in all this sauce that I'm dipped in right now, because I want to make sure that the day that I die, them kids are set. They're not going to struggle. They're not going to need to be working for some other person, some other corporation.
Hey, this is a war room. You can go ahead and let it out. It's all good.
Yes, I'm like, no, my kids are not going to be those kids. We're breaking the generational curse, and you know, and at least give them a little boost to get started. And I can't say that I came from, like, you know, a broke family or a poor life. Like, I didn't struggle by all means, but it still kind of taught me that the hustle is where it's at. My daddy owned a bar for over 20 years, and I seen his work, his work ethics, what he did every single day to get us what we had. And he was my role model. I looked up to that. I said, I'm going to be that person for my kids too. And he didn't have friends that I now have. He didn't build that network of people that, you know, I now have. You know, he owned a bar. The people that were at bars were from the mafia or drug dealers. You know, all they was worried about is making that fast money, but they didn't have nobody in the circle teaching them, you know, what to do with this money, how to build something with this money that's so risky already as it is, that life they live, or to set their kids up at least, you know, if something was to happen, if they went to jail or whatnot. They didn't have nobody in that circle of friends. And, you know, your circle of friends is very powerful in your success. And I'm a firm believer of it because I'm witnessing it right now. And like I said, my mentor is the one who taught me a lot of what I'm learning now on the business side of stuff. I mean, no one ever even told me what royalty income was. I was like, royalty income? What's royalty income? And he's like, have you ever heard, Mariah Carey songs getting played every holiday season? That girl's getting paid till this day for the song she made X amount of years ago. That's royalty income. He goes, and in financial services, it's one of the only ones, one of the probably like a few, 3 or 4 that you can make royalty income off of. And he's like, I'm going to teach you how to create a business that you are going to make royalty income. And boom, like my mind just keeps like expanding and expanding. I said, okay, building a team, definitely build yourself a team, leverage their time, leverage their talents. There's things where I lack that, like social media, I'm not really good at it. As you may tell, my social media, like, I don't really have too much on there. It's kind of like, missing a little something. So I'm building towards that. I'm still trying to grow. I'm still trying to get into marketing and social media. Like that's my weak point. But building a team and having a good strategy behind your business so that you don't physically have to be present to make money. That's my love language. We're talking. Because we're only going to get older, right? I don't see myself being a notary at like 60 years old or 70. I'm trying to be with my grandkids or traveling the world in the beaches somewhere. I don't know, but I'm not trying to be physically working to make money. I want to get them deposits in my bank every single week off of what I've built. And you can do that with real estate. You could do that with financial services. You could do that with your notary license too. You can build a signing system. He said, if you don't make money while you sleep, what did he say? I missed the comment.
He said, if you don't make money while you sleep, you will work until you die, which is a true statement.
That is the truth, Mr. Warren Buffett.
It's a principle that is tried and true, and it's unfortunate that some people won't realize that until you can never say it's too late, but it takes some of us longer to understand that than others. And just FYI, Angie is, for disclosure, I am licensed by the state of California and the Department of Insurance to talk about things like indexes. So, Angie, so we can legally share these strategies, right? We can legally and literally talk about these things. And as you know, people who are not, licensed by the state of California or the respective state and the Department of Insurance to give out advice, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So we can talk about these things, and it's important that you mentioned something about mentorship. You also talked about being introduced to all these, like your circle. And let me ask you this: what does it mean to be the plug? Like when you say that, I wanted to be the plug because it sounds like something that you thought about for a long time. And maybe you told somebody, maybe you didn't, but you always internally knew that you wanted to be the person who's kind of directing traffic and at least connecting people, bringing them together. What does being the plug mean? What kind of significance does that actually take on?
It's literally everything, because to be the plug, everybody wants to come to you because you got the sauce, you got what they want. You got what people are talking about or what they need. So being the direct plug to me is, being the first person they thought about when they thought about real estate, when they thought about notary services, when they thought about financial services, a trust, or anything that has to do with their financial needs, that Angie's the plug. that's literally like a goal that I think everyone should have as a business owner, to be the plug that has all the different portals to different people somehow, some way through you. And that somehow you're profiting from being that plug, not the middleman, the plug. Because the middleman, they get in a little bit of the cut, but they ain't getting the whole profit from that. You know what I mean? I want that all. I want it all.
That's right. That's right. And when you learn how to be the plug, or when you learn how the differences between being middleman and also being the source and being the connect, and you also talked about generational curses, talk about breaking those things, and you talk about trust, which is something that is, as a notary, you probably encounter this. You see this I definitely see it on a weekly basis. You see people who they always say, Angie, no one told me that I needed this. No one told me that I'm trying to handle my uncle's affairs who's in a retirement home or a nursing facility. And my mom never told me this. My grandparents never told me this. So you are now that person. And we talk about breaking generational curses and getting these affairs in place and getting things in order. Where does that come from? How did that even come about? Like, how did you be introduced to, trust, POAs, these documentations, and now you're on this crusade to help out your community, help your family? Like, where does that come from?
Well, first and foremost, I've always been like a servant of the community. So I always have been the person that wants to help with anything and everything. The trust and power of attorneys, everything like that had to do with the estate signing, I learned from Rafael. He's another notary here in Central Valley. He has Stamper Signings. He has a business I believe he's located in Stockton. So I connected with him. I noticed he was in one of the networking rooms that I tuned into. Where was it? I don't really remember, but I remember connecting with him. I said, "Oh, I seen your zip code." No, actually, I seen his number, I think it was. And I was like, "Are you from Central Valley? Like, where are you located?" And he goes, "Yes, I'm located here." I think he says Stockton. And then I was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" And he's like, "I have my own signing service, and we really we specialize in estate planning signings." And I was like, "Oh, what is that? I've never really heard of that." And he's the one who introduced me into that world of how to do estate planning signings. Took his courses and all of that. And I really, really liked it, because when you're someone who truly cares for people and the community and the people you surround yourself with, all this information that you get, you want to spread it out to everyone and let everyone know, like, you need to have a trust. If you don't got a trust, let me tell you the amount of problems you are going to encounter if you don't have it. Yeah, you might have a written will, but you still got to go to probate. Did you know that? Because that will is going to defend you to a certain extent, but you still got to go to probate and cash out and pay, all these extra couple thousands just to get the rights over whatever it is you're fighting for. So when I found out all that information, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I need to learn more. Tell me more. And so that's where that first initially started. And I did have clients already at that time asking me, do you know anyone who does trust? Do you know anyone who does wills? I think it's more the wills that was more of a common mentioned topic than the trust. I think no one really knew too much about trust, but they knew about wills. And so it was great. It was great to know all that information. And I totally blacked out. Like, what are we getting? What's the next question?
Right. Keep flowing, because we got some.
I got into that. That's how I got into that. And then with the financial services, when I met my mentor, he told me that we had some in-house attorneys that we can use for estate planning. And that was just music to my ears. And then they were like, well, part of our organization, actually, you get paid for referring clients to our attorneys. And I was like, oh, what? And he's like, yes. And then you can notarize them and then you'll get paid again. And I was like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Angie, how do you know she boss?
Oh my God. That girl, who doesn't know her, first of all, if you're a notary and you don't know who she is, you've been under a rock, because this girl, I met her just through my interactions with different notaries and following different people on social media, the poppin' notaries, you know, the best notaries. And when I first found her page, man, I mean, everyone can feel what I feel when we see her live posts, like just the day in the life chronicles of Miss Grisel. And it's just someone I relate with, because it's just the content she puts out there is so raw. And she's not out there to get over on people when you're in search of resources to make yourself a better notary. And that to me was everything, because everybody out here is trying to upcharge to the ass about any little thing. You ask a little bit of information, give me 200, give me 300. And so with her, when I seen her, all her social media stuff, I started commenting on it, and she like just as a normal person should, you know, acknowledge the comment or the message. And we connected from there. And I feel like we're so much alike, because her vibes are just like the best vibes. You cannot like not like her. And she gives you like gems left and right. I've taken some of her classes before, and she just said she was going to discuss certain things, but then boom, you just had like a shitload of stuff given for free. And I was like, oh my God, I wasn't ready for all of this. And then she'll shoot you an email after, like, this is what we spoke about. This is some extra templates that you could use. And so I've always supported her, because she has something that stands out that I feel, you know, yes, that is Grisel, y'all. If y'all ain't following Grisel, I don't know, man. I don't know where y'all been. But what was I saying?
She wanted to ask you a question. She wants to know if you could change one thing about this entrepreneurship journey. If you could change one thing, what would it be?
Nothing. I feel like my struggles have built and given me a lot more drive to get to where I'm at. Because you're always going to get fucking haters. Some people even think that they're your friends and that they're guiding you in the right direction, but they don't have the best intention for you. So I feel that I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I guess if I could buy back time and learn about this stuff 5 years ago, instead of venturing off in these other little businesses that I'm always dipped into, if I would have started there and followed my heart, like in high school, that I took my real estate class and I would have followed it through, maybe that would have just been the main thing I would have changed. But a lot of my struggles now have built me to be where I'm at. And then surrounding myself with just the right network of friends, people who are there to build you and see your potential and want to see you grow and can actually genuinely cheer for you, is something else that, you know, sometimes your circle of friends, there's some little snakes in there sometimes, you know, and you look up to some of them thinking, okay, they're doing great. I'm sure being right there by her side, I'm going to be there too. But chances are it's not that way. And I have a big thing. Loyalty is big to me. Loyalty is really big to me. And there were times that I should have walked away from things, but my loyalty kept me there. And, you know, through entrepreneurship, I feel that was one of the things, that your feelings cannot be attached to a lot of what you have going on. Don't get your feelings involved, because your feelings will get hurt.
Yeah. Speaking of feelings and loyalty, there's a question about having team members. Do you have employees? And if so, people on your team, are they family members or non-family members? And if they're not, then how do you go about working with people that are in your circle, in your area, or in your immediate notary circle, or even your other businesses? Do you have family members who work with you? If not, what are the criteria? And how do you go about selecting people to decided, hey, this is a person I can work with? How do you do that?
Okay, so I have always wanted to have like my circle of friends. Like I'm so like, come here, guys, let's do this together. And I always like being around people, like big, large groups and stuff like that. Yes, I do have a team in the different businesses that are within Limitless Financial Services. Recently, this year, I've learned a lot more value in building a team than I ever have known before, right? I do have family in I have family in two of the businesses. So in the notary services, I have my sister-in-law, and then I have one of the coworkers that I was working with at the loan office. Pretty much everyone who's in-house are somehow my friends. And I want to continue to build more and more and more on my teams. Building a team, if you do your research, every business encourages you to build a team for many reasons. There is override benefits. You can leverage their time so that it can open your time up to do other things. I highly encourage every single one of you guys to build a team and a force that, that is unmatched. Build a team of people who bring different qualities to your team. Someone who's right now, I'm trying to get someone who's good at marketing and social media. And, I have a freaking mic that I couldn't connect today because I'm clueless. I'm clueless on how to do these things, but building a team is great. I don't mind having family. Everyone has to have the same drive, same vision. And if they don't, I feel sometimes it's my duty to at least try to teach them what I know and everything that I know and the why behind everything I know. And hopefully I can give them value. But I do have family. My husband is my business partner, my best friend, my supporter. If I didn't have him, I couldn't probably do half of the things that I do. So we work side by side, my husband and I. He's actually the one who came up with the name Limitless Financial Services. So he's my rock. But yes, we do have a lot of people in-house that work with us in different teams. On the solar team, we have 4 people. My notary team has 4 people. I'm building on my real estate team. My financial services team has 9. I think maybe we have 10 already. Financial services has 10. And then what else am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. I'll look back on my notes. But yes, building a team. Who asked that question?
There's Don out of Notary Nation. She asked that question, and I think you did a good job answering it. But if anybody else has questions, because we're streaming live on YouTube, we're streaming live on Instagram. Throw your questions up and let Angie know, show some love. She's coming here from Newman, California, West Coast. She's here to drop some game for you guys. All right.
Every single thing I found, they have good models about building a team. And I am someone who likes to share everything and anything that I know. Every single time that I find something out, I'm always trying to share that knowledge. So I feel that I'm at a good position to where I can build a team. But when I do get people to join, I always tell them, You're not under me. I'm not above you. We're all leaders in this. We are all building a business. With the notaries, although I do send them signings, they're leaders. They're their own bosses. They run their own business. And with real estate is the same thing. Anyone who would be jumping on board, everyone runs their own business. I'm just trying to build leaders and hang out and kick it with leaders. Everyone's on the same level here. No one's below, no one's above. We're all at the same level. So when I invite someone to an opportunity, I always say, I'm looking for leaders. I'm not saying I'm looking to build a team or anything like that. I'm looking for leaders who have the same vision, the same goals as I do, because I don't want to be working anymore from here in the next 10 years. Like, I'm about to be 40 soon. Nobody wants to work, all their life. I want to build, and I'm sure everyone has the same vision. I'm sure everyone has the same goals. So with whatever I have, all my ammo over here that I have, if I can help them achieve their goals, that would be a mission accomplished. And it's fulfilling to see people grow out of their shells.
Yeah. Well, speaking of growing out of your shell, let me ask you this, more of a personal question. What is it that scares you?
I'm from Richmond. Nothing scares us. What?
For those who don't know, Richmond like Oakland has a reputation, but Richmond, now that's a reputation. It's a little bit more rough in Richmond.
Let me think. What scares me? My weakness is my kids. So anything that has to do with my family, I feel that's what scares me. If I'm not like 100% protecting them or being there for them, that's the only thing that scares me, because I'm telling you, after 75 hard, everybody has to try that challenge, at least attempt to try it, because it changes you mentally. It makes you mentally strong. If you put your mind to absolutely anything you put your mind to, you will achieve it. Like, you will achieve it. You can even say, I'm gonna become the president. Like, you will. I choose not to become the president. I don't want to become the president, but
no.
Anything that day, like, literally, I said, I'm gonna open a business, I'm gonna open an office, boom, we got it. I'm gonna become a realtor, boom, I got it in a month. Anything that I've ever said that I wanted to do, I did it. I'm not even scared of failing, to be honest, because I know that those are roller coasters that we have to take at some point in time, and it's gonna build us or teach us something in that failure. So I understand that failing teaches you things. So that's why I'm not too scared about failing, or I'm not too scared about much, but I do fear anything that has to do with family. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, what could be some examples of people's fears? And I could second it if I would feel that would be a fear.
A lot of people are afraid of a lot of things. They're afraid of dogs, the dark. They're afraid of
the dark.
A lot of people are afraid, because you talked about, marketing, right? You talked about getting in front of the camera and social media. And I don't know what do you think about this? If you're not doing social media today, then you might as well be a dinosaur.
Yeah, and what's crazy? Me and Griselle spoke about that a little bit, because she's like, girl, I have to help you a little bit on your social media, because it is, lacking. But mysteriously, or I don't know what you would call it, like a blessing, but I'm still successful with social media or not. By word of mouth, I've built my reputation to be where it's at now. If you ask anybody about me, they won't have much bad to say about me, besides maybe, yeah, I defend mines. I might get a little ghetto if I have to fight for my kids. Just the other week, it wasn't a week ago. It was probably like a couple games ago. My two sons started playing baseball. And I said, I can't come to these baseball games no more, because I'm gonna fucking go crazy on somebody. And, it's obviously little 8-year-olds playing, right? But little kid went to, when you're gonna tag somebody, you tag them out, or you just run and you tag, right? Well, the little kid went and just like straight pushed my son as he's like, racing to the first base. And I'm like, fuck that shit. Next time you gotta get up and push that fucking kid back. I don't care. And so there's parents next to me just cracking up, right? And I'm like, I can't, I'm a business person now. I need to act right. You know what I mean? So, so I have a little bit of challenges with that. And that's probably what somebody would say about me, that she's a person that you can't really try. So don't try me. But I'm an amazing person at heart as well. I have a lot of heart. So back to the social media and back to my marketing. I know it needs help. I know that we're gonna work with that, right? But my business has been successful with or without it. I can only imagine how much more successful it could be, right? Then now also leveraging the building of the teams that they do their share of advertising for Limitless Financial, the word's getting out more. But I take big pride that a lot of my business is organically walking in through the door because they've heard of me or someone recommended me. But I'm not saying marketing is bad, because marketing is amazing. It is like a major tool in every business's success. So I do got to jump on that. I got to get on game like Griselle. Her marketing is amazing, and she does some extraordinary things with Etsy and Canva, and just like her social media is amazing. Her website is amazing. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely. Catch me in about a year.
Yeah, right. So why real estate? Is that your? And let me ask you this. I'm asking from a perspective of somebody who, obviously I'm a notary public as well. I tend to shy away personally from real estate related transactions and so forth. Not that I'm afraid of it. I just choose not to because of the way that I go about doing it. I also noticed that a lot of notaries are just genuinely interested in being involved with the real estate industry, and maybe that in some capacity, whether they want to be an investor, whether they want to be a broker, or they want to be a realtor. I'm not sure what the capacity they want to own apartment buildings and be commercial property owners. But what is this affinity for real estate that a lot of notaries who find themselves in loan signing agent positions? What can you kind of give us some insight into what you were thinking? And like,
I don't know for them, right? But I have many reasons, and some of the most recent ones change. So I'm going to go with the main reason. The main reasons: I've always had the passion for real estate and getting people into like their first time home, like their first purchase, like that moment. For me, that's fulfilling to be part of that transaction, that I was the agent who helped them get into their first home. Showing houses is obviously like, it looks like so much fun, right? It really truly is something that I like, look forward to, is showing a home and describing the home and the details and dressing up just for that, for those moments. And that part, it is actually something that in my heart, I like. I truly like doing it. It's not more like work. It's something that I actually like doing. The second one, it was obviously being part of that moment for the families that are getting into a home, searching for homes or whatnot. The third part is for investments as well for myself, because I do plan on at least owning 2 apartment complexes at some point in my life. That's one of my goals on my vision board, to own at least 1 or 2 apartments that have like 8 units or more. So for financial reasons and retirement reasons, and then leaving something for my kids type of reasons too. And then very last one was because it's part of being the connect for all the other businesses I have in Limitless. So with real estate, everything can piggyback off of it. You know, everyone needs solar. Real estate, you can build a connection with that client and say, well, I also offer solar. I have a notary who can notarize your documents. I have an in-house attorney that can help you with your trust. Now that you own an asset, we got to make sure that is secured. So I got an in-house attorney. What else do we have? The loan officers. If, you know, somehow someone needs a loan, well, we start with the loan and then come over to the real estate. So they piggyback off of each other. What else am I missing? Well, we have my business partner, Carla. She owns an auto and home insurance company out of Richmond. So she would be the one I would send my clients to get their homeowners insurance. So real estate has like all of these little streams, you know, kind of all these, what are they called, ventricles kind of coming out of it. So on the business side of things, I felt real estate was one of the strong points that I needed to make sure I stayed going hard on, because that network of people is going to eventually need something within Limitless Financial Services. Yeah. So for me, on the business aspect of stuff, it was going to continue to drive some income into this business, because eventually after I build these teams, I do want to create offices in different locations that are very similar to this one-stop shop I have here.
Do you find it's hard to talk to people about these type of topics? These new ideas, these documents, these concepts. Do you find it's difficult to talk to people about this stuff? Sometimes, but once you start surrounding yourself around a different crowd of people who know how to continue that conversation and they're intrigued, and, you know, there can be like a nice conversation. Once you surround yourself with those people, the ones who don't really pay attention don't stop mattering at that point. So I've actually started to, you know, build good relationships with people, you know, outside of my circle of friends now, that I can actually now have nice conversations with. yeah, but you know, I agree with you 100%. And sometimes it can be a challenge, because you don't want to just push anybody and everybody away, but you tend to build this filter, right? You can kind of sense that some people are kind of about that life, and some people just, you know, just in one ear out the other, so don't even like waste your time. But
yeah, kind of fill it out. You definitely fill out the vibes of who's interested and who's not. And you know, I'm so busy with what I'm doing. I'm usually hanging out with the ones who do want to hear about it. So for those that don't, I spend very small amount of time with them. If it's someone that's like very close to me or family, you only spend about an hour or two with them, just talking about just family and just personal things. And other than that, but that's it. Where before I was always hanging out with girls, all my girls who wanted to drink and party and go to the clubs and the bars. And, you know, you start learning really soon that ain't going to get you nowhere.
True indeed. Well, amongst all the information that you've shared with us, again, please come off mute if you have any questions for the illustrious Angie Curiel. She's definitely graceful enough to you know, give us some of this insight, and then expose us to a lot of the new ways that multiple industries can intersect and how you can take advantage of those. So is that who we got a question here? Go ahead.
Yeah, y'all talk about those IULs.
What's that?
The IULs. She wants to hear about the IUL.
Oh, you don't know about indexes? Ooh.
The secrets. Ooh, they got secrets.
Yeah. Indexes for I mean, I'll let Angie definitely go ahead into detail, but from a very basic explanation, so your money grows in several different ways. And when you understand how money grows in terms of indexes, meaning an account is created and then the growth of the account is based upon how it performs, and then you compare that to the next year how it performs, and then the next year how it performs, and it can either grow up and it won't, you won't necessarily lose money, or there's a floor for which you can lose money. And this is very safe and I wouldn't say predictable growth, but it's definitely more. It's not like we were talking about the casino earlier on, where you can win $1 and then you could lose $20,000 and then you have to make up another $40,000. Indexes are basically accounts that these are policies, right? These are insurance policies, and these are other products that essentially grow based upon how something like the S&P 500 or something like an index like that grows. So
Hey, you did a great explanation of that one. That one.
How was that? That was okay.
That was good. Now,
Okay.
so who are you with? Who are you doing your financial services with? Now that you said you have your license,
Yeah.
Who do you have? Who do you hang your license with?
Yeah. So this is not about me, y'all. This is obviously about Angie. So
Be nosy.
yeah.
I want to know.
So I'm a proud licensed agent of Transamerica and WFG Group, and yeah, so I owe a lot of growth and a lot of game to a lot of a lot of personal development, a lot of growth to you're speaking my language here. When you get in these environments, this has a compounding effect, and it only, like, my life has only gotten better ever since I've been introduced to some of these concepts. Yeah.
Yes. And for me, I would say the same thing. It's what the wealthy talk about. It's what the wealthy uses. All of these products are proven products that a lot of the wealthy people use, and no one talks about it. Everyone gatekeeps it. But now, I guess we got to thank social media, and we got to thank a lot of influencers that are out there that are finally voicing these things that, no one would have ever thought. Who would have ever thought that something like a life insurance product would hold benefits like that? And then you start learning more about more life insurance products too, that you're like, I know someone had a scenario where I feel like it touched my heart, because I too have parents that are older, but life insurance products back in the days were meant as death insurance. So when you die, they cash out. But we're finding out that a lot of people are getting like strokes, cancer, things to where, they don't fully die yet, but they need living care, to someone that had to be at home, or strokes that, they can't move at all. Who's going to pay for that? Your life insurance ain't paying for that. And we got older parents where I'm like, I don't know if I could take time out of my work and it sounds fucked up, right? But let's be realistic. You would have to take time off of your job, work, business, your family, to care for your parent who can't get out of her bed or his bed, change diapers, help them take showers, things like that. Like, people don't think about these things, but I'm thinking, I can't stop what I'm doing right now to do that. So I better set my parents up with something, because I don't ever want to be vulnerable for a situation like that, because chances are my savings will be depleted 100%. And my business will not thrive, and my goals will not be accomplished. So you start thinking about all these things that are within the financial industry that I was like, sign me up. I'm game. It is my duty to tell everybody I know about all of these products. Thank God my man joined me. He's on here, Stephen Cruz. Thank God he joined me into this adventure, because he joined before I did, because I was like, I have a goal. I need my real estate license. Let me do that first. Then I'll do financial services. And then he started getting all the education. I'm learning, and I'm like, what the fuck? How come no one's talking about this?
No one told me.
And so starting your kids off sooner, oh man, that'll wake you up, because I was like, that is my language. Yes, 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 and yes. You mean to tell me my kids could possibly be millionaires when they're 18 because of our contributions now?
Wow.
Planting that seed right now to watch that tree grow here in the next couple years. That's right. Sign me up for that, because like Tekk said, there's no loss in these products. There's a floor and there's definitely a ceiling, you know. But if you guys want to know more about those things, those services, those products, reach out to me, guys.
Yeah, how can people get in contact with you, Angie, if they wanted to learn more about what it is that you have going on, your services, loan signing, financial services, real estate, and just maybe we just want to connect with you? What could they do?
Yeah, you guys can totally even call me. I'm ready to talk. I could talk for days.
Don't put your phone number out here.
209-606-3155. Give me a call. We're at Limitless Financial Services all day, every day. I
warned you. Don't put your phone number. People are going to call you.
Hey, I'm here to talk. If you guys want to talk about those things, I'm here to help you guys all, whether if it's a personal use, if it's for a personal use, or if it's for business, because you can also set up your business with these type of protections. Or if it's just like, hey, you know, I don't want to become a realtor. I don't want to become a financial service, you know, coach. Like, what can I do so that I have something that's similar to your blueprint? I can talk to you guys about those things and put you guys on game on how you guys can build that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Angie, what's something that you want to accomplish in the next year?
Wow. Oh, my goodness. My brain doesn't stop. So I'm always constantly trying to get more and more and more things. I do want to build a brokerage within the real estate world. So building a brokerage, building a team that is definitely more than 50 in each one of my licenses, under my licenses.
Okay.
And let me see what's just growing my business, really growing my business and being more active with my family.
Okay. Well, listen, everybody, you got a chance to listen to an amazing entrepreneur, amazing mother, amazing businesswoman. And clearly this is not the end. Okay. So clearly you will hear more from her. She's going to get that social media popping once and for all. And then her face will be everywhere. You see, she's very experienced in beauty. She's been not a lash technician, but a cosmetologist. She's definitely a financial educator, realtor. She has the whole list. Listen, if you need there to be an example, here's one right in front of you. You guys reach out to her, reach out to Angie, reach out to her team, find out more information. This doesn't stop here. Like, this stuff is something that's ongoing. And thank you, Angie, for at least coming to our platform and sharing your knowledge. Is there anything else that we did not discuss that you want to mention to the crowd, listen to the family, and also throw that number out there once again? Because for some people, they're not watching right now. They don't get a chance to actually see you. And if you guys don't see her, she's absolutely beautiful, and she's been such an amazing guest. But if you're listening to this, rewind it or go back to YouTube and watch it so you can see the number is displayed here. But for those people who are not watching, Angie, what can you actually, what did we not discuss that you want to share with the family before we finish off?
So on my Instagram, there's a Linktree link, and that has all of my links to all of my social medias, everything that has to do with real estate, everything that has to do with my makeup business, because it's still thriving. I also do wedding coordinating. I forgot to mention that. I do on the side too. I'm not fully active on it, but I have got by word of mouth a lot of work with that. But I just want to tell everyone thank you. Tekk, thank you for being an amazing host. And Tiger, he hasn't jumped on here, but you know, I wanted to thank both of you guys for this opportunity, because I was really truly honored. I was like, oh my God, am I that special? I do
on the
have
West
to
Coast, so it's always gonna be a pleasure. Yeah.
I do got to jump on my social media stuff. I'm a filter addict, so you won't stop seeing filtered to the ass pictures. I'm sorry, not gonna stop that. The filters will stay on 100%. But I mean, one thing that I could just tell everybody is to continue to expand your knowledge. Read more books. Surround yourself with knowledgeable people, even people that don't have nothing to do with notary. Surround yourself with people who are like business connoisseurs or advocates or anyone who talks about financial services. Dip into that world. I encourage you guys, because I've learned so much from, I'm telling you, this span of like a couple months. I've grown so much mentally into a different level that I'm just so happy with myself of what I've become and what I could, the more like what I'm gonna become here in the next couple more months and years or whatnot. But I encourage everybody to just network with more different other businesses other than notary. Get out there, meet more realtors, meet more title companies, meet more financial advisors, automobile insurance, affiliate yourself. See, maybe they give you guys referral, something for referring them. So I think that's my message, is just build your network and make it useful for yourselves. Bring value, vice versa, to each other.
Absolutely. Good message. And you're getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way. I don't know if you get a chance to see it, but Catalina says she loves what you're doing out here for your community and the world. Keep it up. Yes. Ruth Carter says amazing. And Stephen also mentioned that it's a tax write-off. We were talking about the IULs, talking about the indexing and things like that. And Larica says her husband used to sell insurance door to door. Okay, all right. He used to, but not anymore, I guess. See, but thanks. She says thanks for this wonderful conversation. Have a great day, everybody. And yeah, a lot of people showing you a lot of love in the chat, Angie. So thanks again for coming through to the Notary War Room. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And for those people who are on YouTube, as always, my name is Tekk Amaku, the Angie Curiel. This is the Notary War Room. You can catch us. Go ahead to subscribe to the Tiger Toledo chat, Tiger Toledo YouTube, and you can find me at drtekk.com. Obviously, I'm Mr. Notary on Automation. I'm all about the notary business in the sense that you're approaching it like a business, not a job. So if you want to learn more about what I have going on, drtekk.com. That's drtekk.com, and you can contact me there. Otherwise, everybody, happy Easter. Have a great day. It's beautiful out here in California. Hopefully it's nice where you live, but we are out here. I'm going to go cut the grass.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in.
Bye, y'all.
Happy Easter.